My dear children, we are starting a new year, 1994. I just had my 84th birthday, December 6th. We have been so blessed to have still 11 of our 12 children. We are so proud of you all, and how you, each one of you, have struck out and made a good life for yourselves and family. We love you all, each in a special way. The Lord has been so good to us, and has preserved me all these wonderful years. Oh, I've made mistakes in the past for which I've been very sorry for, and hope forgiveness. I would never listen to my mother. She said I was a willful girl, which I was reminded of by the Lord himself when I went down that long tunnel when I had my triple bypass. I know there is a God. Life is very short, really. We've been truly happy here in Ocala, Florida, and this lovely piece of land is so restful and quiet, away from the violence of this wicked world as we see it today. May God bless you all. When you wish to talk to me, put this cassette in, and do not forget to renew it, or my voice will be gone forever. All my love to you all, Mama. I would like to say a poem or two. This one was written by Sandra, your sister, and I always think it's so beautiful. I've learnt it off by heart. The Looking Glass. Have I suddenly grown older? Have the years just slipped away? Am I only but a shadow of the me of yesterday? Did I waste those years in dreaming of what might or could have been, and wasted all those yesterdays in searching for a dream? Was I really oh so foolish to think that time would wait for me till I finished with my dreaming and my soul was shaped and free? I want to live those years again, but they are gone, and yet I hate to think of time I've lost that's filled with such regrets. But they are gone forever in the endless sea of time, for all that's left is looking back on time I thought was mine. This is a little poem by Grace Easley. Just a little higher. Lift me just a little higher. Lord, I'm much too small to see all the wisdom and the wonder of this world you made for me. I've only fleeting glimpses, and I want to see the whole. Bend down a little closer, so that I can grab a hold. Lift me just a little higher, so I can appreciate the blessings of each passing day before it is too late. For though I stand on tiptoe, I can barely see the sun. I want to touch a star or two before my life is done. Lift me just a little higher. Lord, this little prayer is such a simple thing for you, because I do not weigh too much. Lift me just a little higher so that I can understand. If you sit me on your shoulders, I can be a taller man. Johnny's breakfast. Johnny had for breakfast such nice milk and bread. Oh, it's very nasty, naughty Johnny said. Horrid stuff, I'll leave it. Mother said you may, but you have no, Johnny, nothing else today. Up the stairs went Johnny, crying all the way, saying she'll be sorry if I die today. But when he heard the tea bell, Johnny cried more, for there was his mother standing at the door. Here's your breakfast, Johnny. Here's your milk and bread. He sat up and took it. Soon it was all gone. Now he never grumbles at his food so nice. Children, when you're dainty, think of Johnny Price. Two Little Kittens. Two little kittens, one stormy night, began to quarrel and then to fight. One had a mouse, the other had none. That's the way the quarrel began. I'll have that mouse, said the big pussy cat. You shan't have that mouse, I'll see about that. Then the old woman took her sweeping broom, and she swept those kittens right out of the room. The ground was covered with frost and snow. The poor little kittens had nowhere to go. So they laid themselves down on a mat at the door, till the old woman finished sweeping her floor. Then they crept in as quiet as mice, all wet with the snow and as cold as ice. They laid themselves down in front of the fire, and they said they would never quarrel no more. The Battle of Blenheim. It was a summer's evening. Old Casper's work was done, and he before his cottage door was sitting in the sun. And by him sporting on the green was his little grandchild, Wilhelmine. She saw her brother Peterkin roll something large and round, that he beside the rivulet in playing there had found. They came to see what he had found, that looked so large and smooth and round. Old Casper took it from the boy, who stood expectant by. And then the old man shook his head, and with a natural sigh, said, "'Tis some poor fellow's skull," said he, "that fell in that great victory. My father lived at Blenheim then, his little house yon by. They burned his dwellings to the ground, and he was forced to fly. So with his wife and child they fled, they had no place to rest their head. Fire and sword the country round was wasted far and wide, and many, many mothers had a newborn baby die. But things like that you know must be after a famous victory." Getting old. Life can be a little bit weary in our greying years of time, when the many loves we cherished are but memories of mine. Growing burdens bear upon us that deny our joy of old, and each summer in its passing seems to be a bit more cold. It is also time of heartache, if one has to live alone. Days and nights of empty treasures, willed to empty hearts and home. Silent fears and silent worries add their griefs for all to bear, and we find our only comfort is with God in quiet prayer. Hints of Paradise. Chunks of heaven fell to earth. Mother Nature'd given birth to trees and shrubs and perfumed flowers, to budge neath warm sun and showers. Can you see a bud, though violet small, or a tree perhaps redwood tall, and not recognize it as the leaven to lift your soul to God and heaven? And with each hint of paradise, gladdening both hearts and eyes, faith and hope and love increase, to sing to us our future peace. Where the lily pads grow. Down by the pond where the lily pads grow, there's a spot, quiet spot, where ofttimes I go, in the freshness of the morning, the heat of the day, the cool of the evening, when night wends its way. My soul is refreshed, my heart finds new hope, as I sit by the pond where the lily pads grow. Down by the pond where the lily pads bloom, in summer I sit by the light of the moon. The night sounds re-echo events of the day, while my thoughts take wings as I humbly pray. Thank you, Lord God, for the still of this room, down by the pond where the lily pads bloom. Lewis Pinkerton Press. Beyond ourselves. We sometimes miss a blessing that's right before our eyes, preoccupied by earthly things, which makes us worldly wise. We fail to see beyond ourselves hearts that we have broken, and we forgot the angry words that we in haste have spoken. We fill our lives with selfish things, forgetting those in need, and miss the joy that sharing brings in our effort to succeed. How blessed we are when we believe and praise God with our lips, for when we reach beyond ourselves, we touch His fingertips. Clay Harrison. Friendship. Friendship is a precious bond, so fragile yet so strong. It's nurtured by our deeds and thoughts, and soothed when things go wrong. Friendship is companionship, the joy of sharing fun, of bridge games, golf, and notes we send that keep us on the run. Friendship also shares the times when sorrows come our way. To have dear friends who really care makes grey days much less grey. Friendship never can be owned, or chained, or bought, or sold. It's a special, freely given gift to treasure and to hold. Friendship is a lovely gift, a special gift from God, to bring us happy memories as life's long path we trod. Mary B. Kahn. God's love. God's love has no boundaries. It's flowing everywhere. He has enough for everyone, and even some to spare. So take a heaping handful, and keep some out each day. Speak it by your actions, and with the words you say. As you share His love with others, He'll make it multiply. For God's love has no boundaries. There's no infinite supply. Francis Gregory Patch. Love, the strongest force. The strongest force on earth today is love, it has been said, and I suppose it is because it's heaven sent, not bred. You cannot bottle up this love inside you, don't you know, that it will blow the cork, for it must be set free to grow. Yes, love is like a mountain spring that never shall run dry, and love is like our atmosphere. Without it, all would die. Our friend. The Lord is always near us. We feel His guiding hand. At times when we are troubled and things are hard to understand, 'tis then we know He's near us. On Him we can rely, to help us make decisions as time goes passing by. No friend is always faithful, like our Lord in heaven above. He sends us all His blessings. He gives us wondrous love. If only we would listen, let our conscience be our guide, we'd know the path to travel with our Saviour by our side. He's with us in the winter, when days are dark and bleak. He's with us in the summer, on every day, all week. So let us all be thankful for the goodness He has done, for the friend who stands beside us, our Lord, the Holy One. Maxim Liger. Often I feel like a lost sheep, wandering this world alone. No matter where I wander, though, the Shepherd seeks me as His own. He finds me in the darkest place. I cannot hide from Him for long. He picks me up and brings me back into His fold when I've gone wrong. The Shepherd's name is Jesus Christ. He seeks the whole world tenderly. How wonderful it is to have a shepherd always watching me. Marion Chaubeline. Remembering to pray. Ask and it shall be given, so the Lord would have you pray. Seek and you will surely find, for He will show the way. Knock and it shall be opened. Do you think God is about to turn His back upon us, knowing all we are without? We are as little children in this valley full of tears. We need His love to guide us and give meaning to the years. To cross life's troubled waters, there is not a better way than in clinging to Him tightly and remembering to pray. Grace E. Slick. God's been good to me. I'm mindful of the blessings that come my way each day. My heart is overflowing each time I kneel to pray. I'm thankful for the seasons, each one's a masterpiece. I'm allowed to work the land, but God still holds the lease. I'm grateful for the friendships that brighten sorrow's way, because my cup of happiness sustains me every day. I love the children and the flowers that decorate my life, and the quiet, gentle hours, free from worry and strife. I'm grateful for eyes that see the beauty of it all, because God's been good to me and blessed me through it all. I'm thankful for the little things that fill my life with love. The best thing in life are free, they come from God above. Clay Harrison. Don't join the grumblers. Some spend their lives complaining and grumbling every day, instead of counting blessings God daily sends their way. They grumble they're too busy and grouse the whole day through, or grumble life is boring with not enough to do. They grumble when it's raining and when it is too hot, and oftentimes heard complaining how very hard their lot. So let's not join the grumblers, but just take time and stop to thank God for His goodness and all the joys we've got. Rosemary J. Tyree. Pass it on. If you receive a welcome smile, pass it on to keep it in style. If you receive a word of praise, pass it on to ensure it stays. If you receive a hug from a friend, pass it on helping others mend. If you receive a financial lift, pass it on and share your gift. If you receive a faith that's strong, pass it on to those who long. If you receive a message of hope, pass it on so others may cope. If you receive an abundance of love, pass it on praising God above. If you receive an answer to a prayer, pass it on, your blessings share. If you receive God's blessings today, pass them on without delay. William Breesden. Love. A pen that's always busy, a voice upon the phone, a letter in the mailbox to prove we're not alone. Love said upon a paper, a voice within the air, reassurance of a loved one to show how much we care, to prove our love is sacred, to help one understand that love is always near you, on the lips, within the hand. James Joseph Gregson. The Open Door. May I never be too busy when someone comes to call, to sit a while and give a smile and not act bored at all. If by some chance he needs help for a sad and lonely heart, I'll bend an ear and offer cheer before he must depart. If I cannot solve his problem, I can perhaps ease the pain by being kind, so he will find he's welcome here again. Marjorie S. Branson. My daily walk. I always take my walk with God early in the day, when the morning light is breaking on my path to show the way. I tramp the fields still wet with dew, and listen to the sounds made by all God's creatures as they scamper across the ground. I also find this time of day brings me closer to His door, when my weary body's rested from the hectic day before. Though He's with me every moment, and I never cease to pray, I still love best the walk we take so early in the day. Albert N. Thiel. Test of Faith. My heart is very heavy with the burdens of this day, for it has been a time of trials, of struggle and dismay, and all my prayers have been in vain to comfort my despair, or bring me blessings of my Lord for faith in holy prayer. Yet I'm not disposed to cry, for all in disarray, for God I'm sure has made this day for me to find my way, and means for me to walk alone, to prove my faith is strong, when prayers are empty of reward, and everything goes wrong. Michael Dubina. Life's Symphony. Oh, time the moments of my days, dear Lord, in perfect rhythm, not measured by an early score, but harmonized in heaven. Oh, let me fix my eyes on thee, so I will understand the meaning of thy slightest nod, each gesture of thy hand, and may I hear each whispered thought, so I will ever be in readiness to play the part that you have given me. Forgive the times I've questioned this, my small and humble score, so oft ignoring holes and rests alone I try to solve. In swift allegro, time and rush, to carry out thy will, when suddenly the music stopped, I heard thy voice be still. Had I been watching carefully, dear Lord, I would have known that no one plays sweet music in life's symphony alone. Alice Mortison. Long years it took my heart to find thee. Many false turns did I make, but what mercy and forbearance did you harbour for my sake. Many years of wasted chances I may not relive again, and dear Lord, you almost lost me down the boulevards of shame. Long it took for me to find thee, and what bitter lessons learned, but no better teacher than the fire in which we have been burned. Times it seemed that you would surely have to give me up for lost, even though for me you suffered, and you died upon the cross. Long it took me, many detours, many walls I had to climb, many bridges burned behind me. I was running out of time, and then suddenly within me love's voice which through all endures, and I ran into your open arms, and I knew that I was yours. Jim and I. It's 14 years this winter since Jim and I were wed. We make a tidy couple, at least that's what the neighbours said. I was always fond of Jimmy. He had such beautiful curly hair. He was head and shoulders taller than me when he stood square. I can always remember the day when he asked me, and he told me that he loved me so. I remember it as well as daylight, though it's 14 years ago. It happened on a Whit Monday, when we was up at the Hampstead Heath, with the bright blue sky above us and the beautiful spring grass beneath. We wandered away from the others. One thing I didn't care for the merry-go-rounds and the bustling of the fair. At first we both were silent. I never could make out how love tales and storybooks come about, for they seemed to speak so plainly and say, "Would you marry me tomorrow, my own Matilda Jane?" But that wasn't my Jimmy's way. He looked so shy and childish, and he stumbled so over his words. Said he, "I've something to ask you by and by, but I'm not much of a speaker." "I sees you're not," said I, without a look at him. "But I've made up my mind to love you every day of my life." "Oh, lots to say the same," said I. "There's John Smith that drives the cab. He's asking me to wed." "John Smith," roared Jim. "If I catch him coming, I'll kick him down the stairs." With that he walked away. I thought for a minute, what me lose my Jimmy? No. So I ran after him as fast as I could. I soon caught him up. He said, "Why, Florrie, meddlesome Matty." "Why, Jim, of course I do." How one ugly trick was spoiled, the sweetest and the best. Matilda was a pleasant child, but one ugly trick possessed. Just like the cloud before the skies hides all her better qualities. Sometimes she'd lift the teapot lid to peep at what was in it, or spill the kettle if you did but turn your back a minute. In vain you told her not to touch, the trick of meddling grew too much. Her grandmamma went out one day, and by mistake she laid her spectacles and snuff-box gay too near the little maid.
Ah, well, thought she, I'll put those on soon as Grandmamma is gone. Forthwith she placed upon her nose the glasses large and wide, and looking round, as I suppose, the snuff-box too she spies. Oh, what a pretty box is this! I'll open it, said the little miss. So her thumb and finger went to work to move the stubborn lid, and presently a mighty jerk the mighty mischief did, for all at once, a woeful case, the snuff came puffing in her face, her eyes and nose, mouth and chin, a dismal sight presented, and as the snuff got further in, sincerely she resented. She dashed the spectacles away to wipe her tingling eyes, but in 20 bits they lay, her Grandmamma she spies. Hey day, and what's the matter now? Cried Grandmamma with lifted brows. Matilda, still smarting with the pain, and tingling still and sore, made many promises to refrain from meddling evermore, and it is a fact that I have heard she ever since has kept her word. Which love best? I love you, mother, said little Tom, but forgetting his words, his cap was on, and he was off to the garden swing, leaving his mother the wood and water to bring. I love you, mother, said Rose, for the day, till her mother was glad when she went to play. I love you, mother, said little Fan, today I shall help you all I can. How glad I am that school doesn't keep. Then she rocked the baby till it fell asleep, and stepping quietly, she left the room, swept the floor and tidied the room. Busy and happy all day was she, helpful and happy as a child could be. I love you, mother, again they said, 3 little children going to bed. How do you think that mother guessed which of them really loved her the best? The Dead Dolly. It's no use you trying to comfort me when I tell you my dolly is dead. It's no use you saying she isn't, with a crack like that in her head. I suppose you think I'm a baby, when you say you can mend it with glue, as if I don't know better than that. Glue is for chairs, toys and tables, and the backs of books. When my mamma gave me that ribbon, I was playing out in the yard, and she said to me, most exactly, here's a piece of ribbon for Hildegard. But I took it and put it on Tabba. I said to myself, I don't think she saw me do it, but I know she saw me do it now, for her little heart was broken, and so her head broke in two. The wreck of the schooner Hesperus. It was the schooner Hesperus that sailed the wintry sea, and the skipper had taken his little daughter to bear him company. Blue were her eyes like the fairy's flax, her cheeks like the dawn of day, her bosom as white as the hawthorn buds that ope in the month of May. The skipper he stood beside the helm, his pipe was in his mouth, he watched how the veering floor did blow, and smoke now west, now south. Then up and spake an old sailor, who had sailed the Spanish main, I pray thee put into yonder port, for I fear there's a hurricane. Last night the moon had a golden ring, but tonight no moon we see. But the skipper he blew a whiff from his pipe, and a scornful laugh laughed he. Colder and louder blew the winds, gales from the north-east. The snow fell hissing in the brine, and the billows frothed like yeast. Down came the storm, and it smote amain, its vessel in its strength. She shuddered and paused like a frightened steed, then leaped her cable's length. Come hither, my little daughter, and do not tremble so, for I can weather the roughest gales that ever the winds doth blow. He wrapped her warm in his seaman's coat, against the stinging blast, and cut a rope from a broken spar, and bound her to the mast. O father, I hear the sound of guns. O say, what can they be? Some ship in distress that cannot live in such an angry sea. O father, I hear the sound of bells. Oh, say, what can it be? 'Tis a fog bell on the rock-bound coast, and he stared for the open sea. Oh, father, I see a gleaming light. Oh, say, what can that be? But her father answered never a word, for a frozen corpse was he. Then the maiden clasped her hands and prayed, that safe she might be, and she thought of Christ who had stilled the waves on the lake of Galilee, and passed through the midnight dark and drear, through the whistling sleet and snow, the vessel swept towards a reef on Norman's Woe. This beautiful poem was written by Jimmy Lee Jr. in Colorado Springs. It is called The Eye of the Storm. As I'm lifted up on powerful wings, leaving the sea of humanity far below, under the heavy skies, black with rain, turmoil, waves crash to and fro. Tidal bursts grow larger with every passing breath. From here I see humanity, poised on the brink of death. But then the winds are still, all eyes are turned above. A spirit moves through the storm, permeating every soul, and with its warm presence blossoms peace and hope and love. Once again, this divine spark has made our earthly family whole. The waves diminished, lap in harmony against some heavenly golden shore. Through Christmas bargain sales and commercials, the spirit has endured 1 year more. So do not get lost, my friend, to this material whirlwind. Christmas is more than trees or Santa's little elves. It is a time of loving, sharing one another's dreams, that, when remembered, saves us from ourselves. And over the calm blue ocean, a light snow begins to fall. Merry Christmas, your loving grandson, Jimmy R. Lee, Jr., 12/4/93. Dad and I want to wish you the happiest Christmas ever. We love you very much, and we thank you for all your love and caring. God bless you. We love you.